watching SportMatters TV.
These videos are brought to you by MSCCasino.com and the Macau Sporting Club. MSCCasino.com. Check it out.
You are watching SportsMatters TV.
Okay guys, welcome to SportsMatters TV. We have an absolute special here, and it's always good to get local superstars on with us. Over the last 6-7 years, we've featured many young talents that have gone on to European Championship success, world titles and much more. The lady next to me, she's an absolute superstar in Cork. In my opinion, the next Katie Taylor, there's no doubt about it. Lauren, first of all, how's things with you?
Very good.
That's good. You're always busy, right? You're always training hard. So tell us, how did boxing start for you first there?
I was about 8 or 9 and I started off boxing and I went down to a club and I knew straight away I liked that.
And did you like, what part did you like most? Was it being punched, or was it giving the punches, or was it like the movement and the skill?
Yeah, I was kind of like being,
Definitely. And we see the way you box, right? I've seen, Irish boxing websites, you've huge accolades over the years. You're so young, but what do you enjoy about getting out of bed and training? Because if I had to get out of bed and train, I wouldn't like that. But what do you enjoy most about the boxing?
I like being around it and I like travelling and I just love being around boxing,
And when it comes to boxing, right, what's the most important part of boxing for you? Because look, they say speed kills, right?
Yeah.
There's movement, we look at the likes of Katie Taylor, right? She's aggressive. Some people say that she gets hit a bit too much. I personally don't agree. I just think she likes to brawl. But what parts do you like, and what's your strongest aspect when it comes to boxing?
I like the box, I like the skillful and the footwork, and I wouldn't kind of brawl.
You wouldn't brawl, no? You're smart.
Yeah.
And how do you stay away from the brawls? Obviously what you learn when you're training is obviously it's all movement. What kind of movement would you do?
Like slipping and rolling and
technical,
very technical.
And for you, what's the most important part? Because obviously if you don't get hit, so you have the likes of Floyd Mayweather, very rarely ever got hit. Is that the kind of aspect you're looking at, not to get hit?
Hit, not be hit.
Definitely. And amateur wise, so we know the pro game, there's a lot of money in the pro game. Amateur game is where you learn the craft. Now today there's boxers that go straight into the professional ranks, they don't really last that long, but how important is the amateur background for you?
Very. Yeah.
It's absolutely everything, is it?
Everything.
Definitely. And speaking of what you've won so far, Lauren, obviously look, there's so much out there, but Cork and Ireland wise, you've got accolades already, so tell us about what you have achieved so far.
I won 2 All-Irelands and then I won a cadet title about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to win an All-Ireland title. So how many people were there? Obviously there's a lot of girls, and look, the game is so much bigger these days. You see what Katie Taylor, we spoke about Amy, and Amy's been around donkeys, but she's finally starting to win stuff. But you're travelling around the country, and you like that. There's obviously tough opponents out there, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely.
And out of all the people that you have fought so far, can you name me who's the toughest you think? Who is you look out there and there's so many people trying to take your titles, trying to beat you. But for you, what kind of girls out there at the moment deserve a bit of a shout out?
There's a good girl up in Kildare.
Yeah.
Emma
Barry. So is she going to be your rival for the next 10 years, you reckon?
No, because she's going to the Europeans with me now.
Is she going to the Europeans? So you're buddies now.
Yeah.
And look, we have to mention Europeans, right? Obviously you love to travel, right? Now it's nice to travel from Cork to Kerry and Cork to Dublin and Cork to Derry. But look, you'll get to go abroad a small bit, right? So tell us about the Europeans.
It's all different. It's a different country, different coaches, different. It's going to be all different to me.
And we seen, I'm controversial when it comes to the amateur game, right? I see what happened to Mickey Conlon, right?
Yeah.
He was in the Olympics, he was screwed. Do you ever worry about that? Obviously, look, we know Ireland, when it comes to the Olympics, European Championships, our only hope of a gold medal or medals would be boxing. But are you ever concerned about that kind of aspect? Judges being corrupt, or do you think, look, they've been found out and maybe, look, for the future it could be a lot better?
But I wouldn't leave it down to the judges' hands.
Interesting. I love that. Now, talk about your power. Do you work on your power? Is that something you like to do in the gym? Yeah.
Since I started strength and conditioning, I'm hitting a lot harder because I went up the weights.
You went up the weights. Yeah. And when you say you hit harder, do you reckon you could knock someone out, or is it the case of you're definitely I don't want to go in there? Definitely. Now, speaking of boxers, right, we have to, like, you know what I mean, I remember, you know what I mean, like, right now you have Savannah Marshall, there's Katie Taylor, Clarissa Shields, there's so many girls, but who inspired you? Is it fair to say Katie Taylor's the girl? Kelly Harrington. Did you ever meet Katie Taylor?
No.
Did you ever meet Kelly Harrington?
Yeah.
She was in Cork recently, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. I didn't see her, but I seen her up in Eton Derry.
Yeah, and what was she? Did you get a chance to chat to her? Was she nice?
She's lovely.
And do you think she's mad not going pro? Like, obviously she had a pro contract thrown at her, but she's going to stay amateur, I believe. Yeah. Do you think she made the right call?
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting. Now, look, we have to speak of your journey, right? Obviously, you know, you started young. You've had so many people behind you, right? So who do you want to give a shout out to, coaches wise?
My dad.
He's a legend. And look, he's obviously worked with you so long, right? So what does it mean to have your dad by your side? Obviously, it's a big thing.
Yeah, it means everything.
And does he hurt you? Does he push you really hard, or is he kind of like? No, does he let you off a bit? He lets you off a bit, yeah. Definitely. Now look, you're away now in a few days, right? Obviously, big expectations. You're going to come home with a medal, aren't you? Yeah. Definitely. And when it comes to the countries, like, you know what I mean, we say Ireland, for example, is probably the best country in the world for boxing.
Yeah.
But like, you have all the UK girls, you know what I mean, all the Russians. There's so many people out there across Europe and the world that are so good. But look, when it comes to the European standard, I'd say the Europeans are the best at boxing, right? So, you know, you're looking forward to the challenge. You're looking forward to hurting people. What's it like to have all the support, you know, all the messages and stuff?
It's brilliant.
You absolutely love it, yeah?
Appreciate it.
Epic. And look, last of all, you know, is the pro rank something you're going to look at down the road, or look, are you eyeing the Olympics, all the underage success, Olympics, then pro? How can you see your journey and your path go over the next few years?
Like, I always want to be boxing for Ireland until I win my world titles and European medals, and then I'll probably think about pro. That's not in a long time.
And you're so young as well.
Yeah.
You're so young. And like, look, to all the young girls now, right, that are entering the gyms, because it's the likes of yourself, Katie Taylor, you know, Amy, all Kelly Harrington, it's down to you that people will enter the gym, right? Yeah. Like 10 years ago, as you said, there was only so many girls in the gym. We know what Katie Taylor had to do to get into a gym. Yeah. She had to box boys and all. Do you box boys, by the way?
Yeah.
You do? And how do you get on with the lads?
Brilliant.
No problem. Skinning them, dashing them, betting them around the place. That's what you want. But like, last of all, look, we always say, look, locally, what you have to say to all the young girls today, look, they want to come to the gyms, they want to train with you, you know, train in other gyms around Ireland. How hard is it, and what do they have to do? Boxing
is a brilliant sport for anyone to get into, and especially young girls, because girls boxing is getting more and more popular.
Yeah. Do you think it's no harm in no boxing, because you say, look, the streets are dangerous today, so like, obviously it's going to help you. Yeah. It's going to help any girl, you know what I mean? They'll be streetwise, they'll know how to jab.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, we're going to watch you box, right? Champ, all the best in 2 days, right? Thanks a million. Be sure to check out and support all our media partners. SportsMatters, bringing the sports home.